All right, so we're given a system of equations here. That just means we have more than one equation. We've got two, and we're asked to find the solution to this. So there's two main methods for solving systems, and those are called substitution and elimination. And so you have to decide which method to use. Well, typically with substitution, you would have one of these equations be y equals something or x equals something. So you'd have an isolated variable. We don't have that here. So you probably don't want to use substitution. You could, but it's going to be more work. So the better method is to use elimination. In an elimination, what I'm going to do is add or subtract these two equations and eliminate one of the variables. So let's start off by writing these equations down. So I'm going to, just to give myself more room, so I have 2x minus y equals -1, and I have x plus 3y equals 10. Now, if I was to add these together right now, nothing would be eliminated. So I would add this, that would be 3x. I'd add this, that would be 2y. So I wouldn't eliminate a variable. So what you can do is multiply one of these equations by a number to create an elimination. And so what I recognize is that if I multiply the top number by 3, that will give me minus 3y here. And then when I add these together, this will get eliminated. Now, the other choice is I could multiply the bottom equation by -2. That would give me a -2x here. And then when I add them, the x's would be eliminated. And so you can do it either way. I'm going to do it by multiplying the top equation by 3. So let's go ahead and do that. And when I do this, I have to multiply both sides of the equation by 3. Everything on both sides has to get multiplied by 3 to keep the equation balanced. All right, so I'm going to rewrite that. Multiplying by 3, that becomes 6x minus 3y equals -1. And then I'm going to rewrite my other equation below it. So x plus 3y equals 10. And now I'm going to add these together, again, to try to eliminate a variable. So 6x plus x, that's 6x plus 1x. That would be 7x. And then minus 3y plus 3y, those are eliminated, which was the whole point here. And -1 plus 10 gives me 9. And I made a mistake. Ah, this is good. I could restart this, but it's good for you to see my mistake. I forgot. Let me turn my pointer so I can show you what I did wrong here. I forgot to multiply the -1 times 3. After I said, make sure you multiply everything by 3. So that's a good example to show you what not to do. So don't do that. So this shouldn't be -1 here. It should be -3. So let's see if I can erase this. So change that back to a 3. I could just erase this and start over and look perfect, but I'm not perfect, and it's good for you to learn from my mistakes. So now when I add -3 plus 10, I get 7. That was supposed to be in black, equals 7. Now I have an equation with just an x, and I can solve this for x. So I divide both sides by 7, and I get x equals 1. So I'm halfway there. There's half of my solution. X is equal to 1. And really, if you go back and look at the answers here, I already know the answer is A because that's the only one that has an X value of 1. But let's go ahead and check the Y and make sure it comes out to 3, and I'll show you how to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the equation x plus 3y equals 10. I could have used the other equation. I can use any of the equations I've been given, but I'm going to use this one, x plus 3y equals 10. So that's one of my original equations, right? I could have used the top equation. And in fact, I could have used this one in red if I wanted to. But I'm going to take this equation and I'm going to substitute 1 in for x, and then I'm going to solve it for y. So I'm going to take this value of x and substitute it in. And so what I end up with is 1 plus 3y equals 10. I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides, minus 1. That goes away. I'm left with 3y equals 9. And so y is equal to 3. And so my solution is 1 comma 3, which is A. So there you go. There's elimination, a method you can use for solving systems. And don't do what I did and not multiply both sides. Good example. All right, so keep up the good work and you will master the math.